Hello everyone, my name is Michael Lally and I'm here to present my capstone project titled Soma AI. It's basically a combination of somatic and artificial intelligence. This is a gamified somatic tracking application for chronic pain management. And I'd like to thank my professor, my mentor, Professor Michael Guerrero, for helping me out with this project. So firstly, what is chronic pain? Chronic pain is basically pain that takes a long period of time to heal. Could be years, decades, even longer to heal. And it sucks because it affects more than just your body, but also affects your psychological health and your relationships, your work, your education. It's something that is not really nice to have. Chronic pain basically affects millions of people around the world. I'm talking about 20% of the whole world suffers from chronic pain. 20% of the United States suffers from chronic pain. And this is a huge issue that this application is trying to solve. So using somatic tracking, this app helps solve chronic pain. It helps give therapy for chronic pain patients. So somatic tracking basically helps reframe sensation and as safe. What that means is it basically helps retrain the users to think better about how their sensations and be more aware of how they feel in certain moments. I'll talk about that later in the project. Soma AI provides guided micro exercises and real-time support and helps chronic pain patients live life better and be more free while they have their pain. So the problem statement here is we're trying to use somatic tracking. Somatic tracking is effective, but not accessible outside therapy. So the point of this project was to make somatic tracking available to people that cannot afford therapy or don't have remote access or proximity access to therapeutical solutions. So no app actually delivers pain or processing therapy based somatic tracking with gamification. So the point of actually adding gamification is to make it more engaging and make users use the app more to keep tracking and increase engagement in the application. So the goal of this project is to make somatic tracking broadly accessible to people that don't have access to the somatic track. So what I did was I designed a gamified artificial intelligence guided somatic tracking app, and which enables check-ins during pain sessions, provides safety-based reframing and micro exercises. So to give more context on this, the way this application works, it works on a base called pain and processing therapy, which was made by Alan Gordon from the Pain Psychology Center in Los Angeles. And the way this actually works, it works on the fact that pain is divided into two different categories: structural pain and neuroplastic pain. And neuroplastic pain, a lot of chronic pain could be neuroplastic pain. And this basically just means the way your brain interprets certain sensations in your body interprets it as pain, and it's not always structural pain. I'll explain more about that later on in the video. So the research questions I had before the project was user experience and barriers. Can somatic tracking be translated to an application? Does gamification increase engagement overall? Because adding a whole layer to this app, trying to make it more engaging. And why am I trying to make it more engaging? Is to potentially help the users to create a habit of checking in every day to help track and help manage their pain. So theoretical foundations, there's two main things to know. I gave a brief about this earlier on, neuroplastic pain versus structural pain. And a good thing to understand is what pain really is. Pain is a sensation your brain interprets and uses to tell your body to stop and wait and be cautious about something, about an input, about a feeling, something. So, for example, if you get hit by a hammer on your knee, your brain processes it and gives you a feedback with pain saying, oh, there's danger here. You should probably move away from that hammer, move away from what it costs you to feel that way. So that is what pain is. And it's mainly divided into two different things: structural pain and neuroplastic pain. Neuroplastic pain would be the way your brain connects to a certain part of your body and interprets pain that is not necessarily structural. When I say not structural, I mean, and I'm going to now define what structural pain is actual pain that makes you feel a negative way. For example, like that example I used about the hammer hitting your leg, you spraining your ankle, something like that. Sometimes the brain might just misinterpret how sensations feel. Like if I pinch myself like slightly, my brain might misinterpret that and think it's like an ant biting me or something way more strenuous happening to me. That's the base of, that's how to understand these two theoretical foundations. So some core features of the application: we have real-time check-in flow, we have somatic prompts and micro exercises, we have an AI coach that's powered by a large language model plus a voice AI agent. So what this means is once the application scans and you give it all the information about how you feel or how your sensations are, you get to talk with a voice AI agent that is trained on pain processing therapy methods and a lot of data on it, and helps you walk through like a normal therapy session through your pain and help you manage your pain better at that moment. It also has gamification features like streaks and gamification like streaks and check-ins daily. So basically, how the app is designed, it has 4 different parts. It has an onboarding screen, just like I talked about, that tells you to be aware of your body and how to feel and how to process different parts of your body when you feel certain type of ways, and just helps you be aware of it. That's one of the bases of pain processing therapy. And then it has a data collection part that has a 3D body anatomy that you can select exactly where your chronic pain or where you feel your sensation at. And then from there, it works with a brain, an AI brain that reasons, and based on whatever situation you have, it provides exercises that can help you manage your pain better with the voice-enabled AI therapy coach. So this is basically a video of how the app works. So it has an onboarding screen, and then it gives you different things about how you can be aware about yourself, and then it has the 3D anatomy that you can use to track where your pain is at. And for this, I have an example. I selected my right leg, and then tracks the sensation, the intensity of the sensation, number of days you had the sensation for. Then you can get more context about how pain started, things that happened that day, to help the AI coach know better, just like a normal therapy session. And then you click on the call me or when I'm ready button, and then you get a phone call on your phone, and you have a whole therapy session that goes on and on and on until you feel comfortable to move on with your day. So this is the current tech stack I have. I use Unity, Fast API, 11 Labs, Next.js, ChatGPT, couple of languages. I use Unity for the 3D front end to be able to track in real time 3D mappings of the body where exactly you have your pain, because it's not easy to describe each part of your body sometimes. And then Fast API to connect from Unity to the GPT brain that I use. 11 Labs is used to power the voice agent. ChatGPT is used for the large language model reasoning. Next.js is used to deploy the whole project, and Python, C#, and TypeScript were the main languages used in connecting everything together. So a huge thing I learned in this project was reframing, messaging, and user experience. When talking to pain patients or when talking to chronic pain patients, it's important to not use, ironically, the word pain or negative connotations, negative things, so that we don't want to remind them of how bad they feel, but more about reminding them how good they feel or how present they feel. For example, instead of using words like pressure, and say massage-like pressure. Instead of using words like warmth, you can say blood flow. Instead of using words like tightness, you can say gentle engagement. So just the shifting of certain words and phrases matters a lot when talking to chronic pain patients, even through the application. So limitations of this app are fidelity and simplification, possible misuse. There's a huge thing in the application that I hard-coded in was check out for keywords that give a sign of the user actually needing medical help or psychological help, or something beyond the application. The application is not meant to replace medical assistance or medical intervention, but just help on a daily basis to manage chronic pain. Also, need for stronger clinical validation, just like what I just said. So future directions would be enabling this in wearable devices, reinforcement learning to personalize experience with users, creating a hybrid clinical approach and like an app model with the Los Angeles Pain Psychology Center. And then conclusion would be this application is basically bridging neuroscience-based pain recovery with tech, because this has been there for a while now, and it's been used to heal a lot of people from chronic pain. And I'm trying to make this more accessible to people beyond just going in person for therapy, but also being able to track it in 3D space and provide real-time artificial intelligence powered therapy sessions to chronic pain patients. This is a promising and scalable, accessible approach to self-chronic questions. Thank you very much.